Duckboat Dispatch, episode number 53. Josh is here, Sarah is currently not here. I'm here, Tom Christopher, and what a week it's been in Boston sports. It has been a rumor-filled week. The Giannis trade sweepstakes really heating up, but to get into that, the Red Sox are currently trying to avoid the sweep at Fenway Park against the Toronto Blue Jays. They're tied 3-3, bottom of the eighth. Caleb Durbin and IKF just hit home runs. So anything can happen. Who knows what's going to happen there. We'll keep you updated on that one when that one goes final. New England Patriots, not much going on there. It's kind of wait and see if they're going to extend Gonzo. Wait to see when training camp really kicks off. And then the Boston Bruins, the only big news with the Boston Bruins that they announced today they are going to retire Bergeron's number, put it up in the rafters. No one's ever going to wear that one ever again. Well-deserved. That whole crew is going to end up getting their jerseys retired. Marchand's probably next whenever he does decide he wants to hang it up a few years after. I'm sure he'll be getting his jersey in the rafters as well. But not much going on in Boston sports, but I
was going to say, I think there's a bigger thing going on in Boston sports right now.
I don't know about it, if I would call it Boston sports, but there is a takeover going on. There is World Cup craze in the city of Boston, which we're going to get into. Josh, I know you worked on the game last Saturday. I want to get your whole experience in that later on, but I do want to start with the Celtics Giannis rumors, because I think that's most importantly the biggest thing going on in Boston sports right now. See, I felt that way too as well. But I know, I want to say about a month ago, we addressed these rumors. Right when the season ended, whenever the Celtics season ended, the rumors kind of started kicking around like, could they be in the Giannis sweepstakes? And it's the Boston Celtics. They're always going to be in on them. They might not always be going for them, if that makes sense. Like, they might be listening to conversations and this and that, and however they plan on moving on in the offseason.
How many times has this happened? Ever since Brown has been traded, he's been in trade rumors with people like the likes of KD, Anthony Davis, so on and so on. He's in a trade rumor every single day. So whenever it's like another team says, hey, we're looking to shop this guy, the Boston Celtics are always in there. And Jaylen Brown's always the highlight, because Jaylen Brown is a star. He is an absolute all-star. He's an all-NBA player. But in the eyes of a lot of people, he's just not the number one. He's the number two. And so people are like, oh, we'll take him to be our number one, and you can have this guy that we're going to trade.
Yeah, and it's just, Kawhi, KD twice, AD twice, Bradley Beal. And you like
Bradley Beal.
Any big superstar that has been made available or they've wanted out, he's been put in that trade offer. And not just fans being like, ooh, maybe we trade Jaylen Brown for this guy. There has been legitimate interest in Jaylen Brown from almost any team trying to trade a big superstar. And the Celtics, credit to them, they always listen. And I don't blame them for listening. I think you take calls on every single player on your roster besides Jason Tatum, which it sounds like that's what they're doing. And over the past week, I would say, Josh, I've really talked myself into it.
Hold on, let me give you a quick hypothetical. You're Brad Stevens. San Antonio Spurs are the other line. We'll give you Wemby for Tatum. You taking that?
That's probably the only guy I'm taking for Tatum.
What about Jokic?
No.
No?
No.
How many first-round picks would it take to give up Tatum?
It depends on the deal. Like Wemby, you're probably getting a better player in Wemby. I do also, reminds me, I know I asked you this throughout the week, like your top 10 players in the NBA, because this was a fun experiment I had going on.
I never finished it.
All right, so maybe we'll get some of that as well, because The Ringer put out a top 100 list, and I think it's horrid. Tatum and Brown are 13 and 14 on that list.
You're telling me, okay, I'll give them some leeway for Brunson being ahead of them just because it's very recency bias. Excuse me, I know a lot of people can have that. Do I think he's better than both of them? No. But I'll give them, some slack. Karl-Anthony Towns is where I draw the line.
Cat is not better than either of them.
I see Brunson ahead of both of them. I'm like, all right, this list isn't really all that. Now I'm looking at Karl-Anthony Towns above them. I'm like, Jesus H. Bleep. Who hired this person?
It's I think it's like everybody at the Ringer collabed on it. I'm not too sure. All I know.
It's like, you're telling me. So if it's like, say there's 10 people who put this list together, you're telling me 8 out of 10 people said Karl-Anthony Towns is better than Jason Tatum. You're high as balls.
Yeah, and I just the disrespect for Tatum and Brown as a duo just continues, and the disrespect for Tatum as a player and Brown as an individual player. Like, it's just disrespectful
I
in
don't
every way possible.
I don't understand how you can't put Tatum up in the top 5 or like borderline, depending on who you are. And then with the season that Jaylen Brown just had, I know there was the ending was terrible, but I mean, even in that series, Brown didn't play bad. Brown played good. He played great. It was the team, the rest of the team that played terribly. So even with that, with the season Brown just had, what is he, 30, 14 or 13?
I think he's 14.
So he's 14. How the hell do you not have him as a top 10 player right now?
To me, it's just you're going to put them at
Okay.
13, 14, but then Vegas also has the Celtics, I think, top 5. I think they're 4th in
They're
in odds to win the
no,
championship.
they're the favorite to come out of the East, right?
I think the favorite to come out of the East, but I'm thinking to win the whole thing.
Oh no,
So
I
it's just,
think they're like number 3. I think it's the Spurs, the Thunder, and then I think it's the Celtics.
yeah, I think they're ahead of the Knicks. And I think that's also, Knicks winning the NBA title, their parade today. I haven't seen anything too crazy when it comes to content wise for that. Like, obviously, the amount of people there is insane.
I saw someone rip someone off of a like a traffic light post or a lamp light post or something. They were climbing some kind of pole, and one person ended up tossing another person off that pole, and then that person proceeded to run back to the pole and pants the other person.
Nice. I haven't been checking social media too much to see what's going on there. But I do want to get into how the New York Knicks winning does affect the Boston Celtics. I think it greatly affects the Boston Celtics, and I think it's ultimately going to push them in the direction of trading Jaylen Brown for Giannis. And I don't know what the actual trade package would be, but I'm assuming it's going to be Jaylen Brown goes to third team. Third team gives young up-and-comer you see like Jonathan Kuminga as a type of guy that's like that level of player, Darius Garland from the Clippers, that level of player who makes that much money to make the money work, goes to Milwaukee. Milwaukee sends Giannis to the Celtics and then picks secondary players. All the other hoopla has to go around to, every other team. But that's probably what the basis of a deal is looking like. And honestly, Josh, I've talked myself into being okay with that. And as much as it pains me to say that, you're splitting up the Jays, which is something I have been very vocal against ever since these trade rumors come out with every single person. I wasn't in on KD. The one I was probably the most in on was Kawhi Leonard, just because I liked what you have a guy in his prime right there, but that was pre-Toronto's Kawhi Leonard. That was coming, and he went and carried that team to the NBA championship. I didn't want KD. I think his play style is way too similar to Jason Tatum. I did not want Bradley Beal at all. I think I thought he was putting up fake stats in Washington. And then who's the other guy? AD. I never wanted AD. I think you can go and find that's what I'm looking for here, like a fill-in big man. You can go and find 2 good years of Kristaps Porzingis. I think that's tough, easier to find than a guy like Jaylen Brown. And I think AD is injury prone. So this is the first time where I have been flipped completely, where I am okay with moving off of Jaylen Brown. I think it's just time.
I'm still not. I'm not convinced enough that you need to move off of the Jays. I'm not, because when we look at the years and recently, why the Celtics have been losing, it's not because of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. In the first series, the only series against the Sixers, Tatum and Brown, and especially towards the end of the season when Tatum came back, both of them played exceptionally great. They played fantastic. But your problem was that the rest of your team wasn't good. Shireman, Garza, Keita, and the rest of the crew were not playing good enough. And that's the reason you lost, is because and also your coach. Your coach didn't make good plays, and the rest of your team played like garbage, while Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown did pick up their weight. We even talked about that at the end of the season recap that we did. We said that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown were, like, when we were playing the blame game, we put Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum at, like, the bottom of that list because we didn't blame them at all. So I understand, needing to make a big change to change something with the Boston Celtics, whether it's the play style or just get like some kind of new atmosphere. But I'm not convinced that change is Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. Again, we're one of those two. I think you need to change the rest of the roster. My proposal the entire offseason has been, I think we need to trade Derek White for a big man. I still think that's the issue, because if you look at all these other teams, Karl-Anthony Towns, Bam Adebayo, Joel Embiid. If you make it out west, you got Wemby, Chet Holmgren, Nikola Jokic. All these teams have great centers. You are the one team without a great big man. And quite frankly, I don't think you need a point guard as the Celtics. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can handle the ball. Jason Tatum is a phenomenal playmaker. We saw that. He almost averaged triple doubles when he came off the Achilles injury. So I'm not convinced. So I get it. Giannis can be a top 5 player when he's out there. He absolutely can. Top 3 player. He could be the best player when he's out there. I'm not convinced you need to move off of Jaylen Brown, though. I'm convinced you need to move off the rest of the team.
So to me, it's just like, I agree. The secondary pieces weren't good enough this past year. Like Derek White, I think it's time to move off of Derek White, which kind of breaks my heart because I love
It breaks
Derek
my
White.
heart, but it's just because if you're going to move off of one guy, Jaylen Brown and Derek White, because of the money and that fact that you do need a big change, I think it's Derek White.
Yeah, I think Derek White's
series.
He's on the way down in his career. Like I think he's peaked in his career, and maybe it was a bad last 3 months of the season. Or honestly, like 3 months is generous. But I thought when Tatum came back, he would snap back into the Derek White we saw in that championship run where he could just spot up and shoot. And we didn't see that. And maybe he needs the full year to kind of get back into that role. But to me, it's just you have a guy who can be a top 5 player in the league. He forces Joe Mazzulla to change the way he plays the game, like the way he wants him to play. Because Giannis can't just sit back at the 3-point line and huck him. He also adds to the interior scoring on your team, which the team also desperately needs. A guy that can score. He's one of the most efficient scorers when 5 feet from the basket. Like that's where Giannis is in his game because he's bigger, he's stronger, and he's more athletic than almost every single player in the league. And I think to have the chance to bring in a guy like Giannis, you have a defensive player, the guy who's won Defensive Player of the Year, a guy who's won MVP. It really reminds me of them when they brought KG in with the 08 Celtics. Like he is going to be a hired gun. I don't know how long he's going to be here for. But he's going to come in and he's going to bring them over the hump. And then you find that other guy to bring in as well. Like you find that third piece to go along. And maybe you move Derek White to get that third piece, whoever that may be. But you just have a chance to bring in a top 5 player and have 2 top 5 players on your roster. How do you say no to that when you're not going to be giving up a ton? Like I don't think giving up Jaylen Brown and maybe Pritchard is giving up that much for Giannis. Like I really, in all the grand scheme of things,
No.
I would like to keep Pritchard. But if that's what it takes, like Jaylen Brown, Pritchard, and a couple first round picks, I'm all for that.
If we were kind of building like our ideal, off season real quick, mine would be to keep the Jays, take Derek White, turn for a big man, move Peyton Pritchard to point guard, and then you go out and find yourself another shooting guard, just to a defensive shooting guard just to have alongside, just have
Josh,
some defense. I don't
this.
think you need a playmaking point guard. I think Peyton Pritchard, if he wants to, because I think Peyton Pritchard eventually wants to kind of have a bigger role on another team, not just be the off the bench guy. I think if he wants that, then he kind of needs to prove that. And I think moving off of Derek White and making Peyton Pritchard be like, hey, if you want more money at the end of your contract, if you want to be a star on a team, now's your chance. Like, go and prove that to us.
Well, Josh, let me ask you this. Just yes or no, is Giannis better than Jaylen Brown?
Yes.
Why not bring in the better player? Like, that's honestly like when I think about this, you're bringing in a better player. Why not bring him in?
Because it's the other outside factors. The age, the chemistry, and the...
I think Tatum and Giannis could be the best pick and roll of all time.
I mean, they greatly could, but then
like
again...
what I do worry about is when Tatum comes off that screen, if he settles for that stupid little, half-ass mid-range fadeaway jump shot, which you can hit, but it's not the most, analytically efficient shot. If he just comes off that screen hard and goes downhill, and then you have Giannis on the other side, like, you can't defend that. And then, okay, maybe you sag off. Tatum can just hit the 3.
So when I say I'm not in favor of trading Jaylen Brown for Jason Tatum, I'm not like completely against it. I might be a little bit of a homer when I'm actually saying it, but
yeah, you don't want to see Jaylen Brown go because you like him as a player.
I don't want to see him go, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't move the needle enough for me. I still think, okay, you trade for Giannis. I still think you need to fix this whole entire roster as well. I think you still need to go out and get a big man because you're not going to have you're probably going to have Jason Tatum play at 3 and then Giannis at the 4. You're not going to play Giannis at the 5. And so I still think you need to go out and get a center. And then, I mean, this might be nitpicky too. How many games are we going to get the two of them together? Because and I'm very confident that Jason Tatum's injury is not going to be a factor, but we did see it be a factor in Game 7 against the 76ers, where he did end up sitting out for that entire game. And then Giannis played, 20 to 30 games this season? So I think it is lingering that with Giannis's age and, he's been quite injury prone within the last couple of years. How often are you going to actually get the two of them together? It's reminding me a lot of the Brooklyn Nets when they had KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, where the two of them where the three of them, every game, at least one of them was injured. Like they did not play many games together. So that might be nitpicky, but I don't think trading Jaylen Brown for Giannis is the priority. I think moving the entire roster around together is the priority. I also just don't think Tatum and Brown hate each other. I think this is the most BS rumor and storyline going around the entire league that the two of them can't play together. I think that's total BS. I think they can. They've been doing it for what, 8 years now, I think? No, 7 years. What, like I don't think Giannis will bring the chemistry that Jaylen Brown does. I don't think he'll bring the culture wise.
So to me, it's I also don't buy into that Tatum and Brown hate each other. I don't think they're the best of friends, but you don't need to be the best of friends to win NBA championships. We saw that. They won the championship already.
Fair.
It's just, if you can, I think Giannis does move the needle enough. You're bringing in a guy whose ceiling is an MVP. Like, that's his ceiling. His floor, top 5 player in the league. Like, I will give you 2 years ago, injury prone. He doesn't make it all the way through the season. But what star NBA player plays 82 games? None of them do. Like, what star player plays, really, they all play 65 games. Some of them will touch that 70 mark. Nobody's touching 80 games if you're a star player. There's 82 gamers are your role players. Like, that's who, no star players playing 82 games. I don't think Giannis playing 65 games a season is a bad thing. Like, we saw in the Celtics are already regular season tryhards. I don't care about their regular season record that much because I needed to translate over to the playoffs, and it didn't this year. Yeah, they were the 2 seed, but they got bounced in the first round, so who the hell cares that they won so many games in the regular season? It ultimately didn't matter at all. So if Giannis is only going to play 65 games in the regular season, that's fine with me. I'm not worried about his injuries as much as others because I think this past season where he played 20-some-odd games, 30-some-odd games, I think that was more Milwaukee not letting him play because they knew they were going to trade him and didn't want to get him injured. Or have him re-injure something and lower his trade value because obviously they want to get the most from this asset right here. So that injury thing doesn't concern me with Giannis. But when it comes to him on the floor, he improves their interior scoring. He improves their defense. He brings more attraction to him from other teams defensively. I don't see how he doesn't improve this roster. Like, he's an upgrade of a player from Jaylen Brown. Like, you're upgrading in that sense. Jaylen Brown is not a great playmaker. His assist to turnover ratio is one of the highest in the NBA, so I'm not worried about losing that. He's a better defender than Jaylen Brown. The only thing Jaylen Brown has on Giannis, he's a better 3-point shooter and a free throw shooter, I'm willing to bet, but let's not act like Jaylen Brown's a great free throw shooter at all. Like, he misses all the freaking time, I feel. You can go and find a point guard and a big man. You can't always go and find a guy with the caliber of talent of Giannis Antetokounmpo. Even if he is, on the regression, that back 9 of his career, which I don't think he is, he's still a top 10 player in the league. I think if you have the chance to go out and get 2 top 5 players, again, this doesn't happen every single day. You can go and find a guy on the free agent market to bring in as a big man. You can go find a guy to make a move where you're moving like a Shireman or a second round pick to get a big man that you can play in crunch time minutes. Like, he adds with defensive ability. He can guard Bam Adebayo in the playoffs. He can guard Joel Embiid in the playoffs. He can guard Karl Anthony Towns in the playoffs. And the Knicks are that bar to beat right now. And I think that's so poetic how it has all changed, Josh. Because 2 years ago, when the Celtics won the championship, the Knicks constructed their roster to beat the Boston Celtics. And now, 2 years later, the Celtics need to construct their roster to beat the New York Knicks. And I think to do that, you need to bring in Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think you need that star power. Like, you have the best duo in the league. And then Brad Stevens is a freaking wizard. He's going to find guys on cheap contracts to overperform. I mean, he was getting big minutes from freaking Luka Garza this year, bro. He was literally almost out of the league 2 years ago, Josh.
This is such a ugly truth for me, just because I know Giannis is a top 5 player. I know Giannis is better than Jaylen Brown. I'm not afraid to admit it. I know that it does have the potential. Tatum and Giannis have the potential to be better than Tatum and Brown. Again, I might just be a homer, but I also I'm going back to my original point. I don't see enough evidence to really. I guess it would depend how forceful is the trade going to look like. Is it just going to be Jaylen Brown for Giannis straight up? If that's the, it probably won't. But if that's the case, if that's kind of like essentially what it is, and like a couple other things here and there, I'll probably come into next episode, crying that Jaylen Brown is gone. But I will be accepting the fact that we have Giannis now. But if it's like Brown and like 3 firsts, I'm gonna be like, why the hell did we force this? I'm gonna ask why we forced it. So I'm at the point where I am still fighting for Jaylen Brown. I think they have unfinished business. I don't have enough evidence that you need to move off of Jaylen Brown. And I must just be a homer as well when I say it because he's my favorite. He's my favorite Celtic, and
Yeah, and
I
I would if the shoe was on the other foot, I would not be entertaining. Like I would not let anybody even think about moving Jason Tatum. So I understand
so
where you're coming from.
here's a question for you. And I am shooting far into the future with this question. Let's imagine Jaylen Brown gets traded. Does Jason Tatum get traded in the future or let go?
No, I think this is
Because
a guy who stays
because
here the entire
when
career.
who's the last safe Celtic?
Who's the last
Who was
come
like the
again?
last safe Celtic on the team ever?
Like the guy
Ever.
that their entire career here?
Yes. Who was like the last safe one?
Probably like Larry Bird. I mean, I couldn't go that far back. I mean, Paul Pierce
Exactly.
didn't. Like, I think
So
if
I
you, I'd
think
be surprised. I would hope he finishes his career as a
you
Boston
would hope he
Celtic, but
would.
it's not going to shock me if the last 2 years of his career he's out there ring chasing. That's just
But
what we
I
do these
think
days.
I think that's what we might see with especially with Brad Stevens and I guess Danny Ainge at the time, is that the Celtics are not afraid to move off of people that they are attached to. That's the problem with being a Boston Celtics fan, is that you see so many players that you love get moved. Going back 2000s, Paul Pierce, Rondo, Garnett all got moved. Isaiah Thomas got moved. Marcus Smart got moved. Al Horford got moved twice. Robert Williams got moved, and now Jaylen Brown might get moved. And so to me, the Celtics are not a team that are afraid to be like, hey, you're our wife. We've had a relationship with you for so many years. Bye. So I think eventually, I think it might lead into eventually when Jason Tatum gets there in age and his progression starts to go on a decline a little bit. I'm gonna call it from a long shot. There's gonna be a day if Jaylen Brown does get traded, Jason Tatum will also be traded, or he will leave the Celtics to go to another team because the Celtics won't re-sign him. I'm gonna call that within the next decade. That's gonna happen.
Yeah, and then honestly, that's so far away. I'm still just focused on how do we get this current Boston Celtics team over the hump, and I really do ultimately believe it's Giannis. And I didn't
I
think that at
don't.
first, but the more I think about it, I've
Do
pushed
you
myself in that direction.
do you think it's just Giannis though? Do you think it's just
No, I
Giannis?
don't think bringing
If
in
they
just
trade,
Giannis.
if you like look if you wake up tomorrow and you see Shams Charania has tweeted out the Boston Celtics to trade Jaylen Brown for Giannis, are you be like boom championship? Because I'm not honestly.
No, I think you look at that and you go, okay, what's the next move? Like they're not done. This isn't when they moved Marcus Smart for Kristaps Porzingis and you're like, bang, done. That's the roster. No, they have other pieces to figure out. I think they still need a guy who can create his own shot. I would be super interested in bringing Anthony Simons back in some capacity if that's available. I think
We'll
that's a
see it.
guy. I don't think it'll happen, but that's a guy I think we wish we like if we had in the playoffs over because Vucevic shouldn't play at all.
Yeah,
So that's a guy I think.
can we just look back and see how awful that trade was? By the way,
Yeah, I mean, that's the worst move Brad's made, hands down. Like, hands down, no questions asked, the worst move
I
he
see
made.
the vision at the time, but looking back on it, yeah,
Yeah, you're hoping guys like Shireman and Ugo progress positively enough. Like Jordan Walsh, you hope he progresses positively enough to play real important minutes this season. I think Ugo is a guy that could do that. Jordan Walsh is on an expiring contract. I wouldn't be shocked if he's involved in some sort of trade package to upgrade the roster as well. I could see
I
a team
honestly
taking
just
flyers on him.
think, I think if you are, I honestly think unless the only two guys, I mean, I'm putting Jaylen Brown out of this picture because it's too confusing. I think the only two guys you shouldn't move off of are Tatum and Pritchard. Quite honestly, if you're the rest of the crew, you're on the list. I am putting everyone on the list except for Pritchard and Tatum.
Yeah, just because Pritchard's on such a team-friendly contract, I don't blame that
Yeah,
at
he
all.
he's so good on such a cheap contract that it's like, and he can have a starting role. I greatly think he can. So I don't think there's so much value for such little money that I see no reason that you should be getting rid of him. Um, but everyone else can, start packing their things. I will be shopping you.
Yeah, I don't blame. I mean, the goal is to win an NBA championship. It's not here to have the most fun team. The team that you like the most. You want to win an NBA championship. But I think, again, Giannis brings into that. And I also just think with the Jalen, when it comes to trading Jaylen Brown, how many more times is he going to be allowed to he's going to allow a team to put himself in this, like put him in the situation. At some point
The
in
trade
time,
rumor? The trade rumor
I think
position?
at some point in time, yeah.
I think he's
And
used
I've
to
heard
it.
people say that if he's like, yeah, he's used to it. I think at some point in time, and I think specifically this one, he's proven that he can be the number one on a team. He can lead a team to the 2 seed in the NBA, in the Eastern Conference and lose in the first round after going up 3-1. Like, he's proven that. It's his favorite season. It's probably his best season of his career. And in mind, he's probably like, yeah, I've solidified myself as a top 10 player in the league, as a number one option, as a superstar. And then almost immediately after the season ends, he's involved in trade rumors for Giannis, and Tatum's not. I think that is the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think this is different than every other trade rumor he's ever been in, because at that time, whether you want to believe it or not, he was firmly a number 2. He hadn't had this breakout season.
I need to interrupt you real quick because we have a game final of the Sox losing 4-3.
Figures. They let up one on the bottom of the first. A rare Aroldis Chapman loss. I have nothing to say.
He's slowly on the decline as well. We should have traded him before he started being the ass.
No, people will still take Aroldis Chapman.
Him.
If we're talking about trading for upgrading, people will still trade for Chapman. But I'm not there with I don't even want to talk Red Sox. I have no desire. They're horrible. And now you have me talking Red Sox. They're horrible. They're painful to watch. They stink. If their name isn't Roman Anthony, Garrett Crochet, Abreu, and like Contreras, get your ass out of town.
What about Peyton Tolley?
Yeah, Peyton totally forgot about him. There's probably 8 guys in the team I would keep.
Connolly Early?
If you offered me the right deal for Early, I would ship his ass out of town too. He's struggled with the home runs this season, but he's young, so I would be way more hesitant. But like literally everybody else, like 8 players: Anthony, Crochet, Tolley, Contreras, Abreu. I'm a big sit on Rafaela guy in center field. I'm a big fan of him. I don't think he's that big of a problem. Maybe Meyer. I could be talked into letting Meyer go at this point. I'm very disappointed in what Marcelo Meyer has brought to the table. Christian Campbell, if someone wants to take a swing on him, he sucks right now in the minors. So I really would trade literally everybody else on this team. I would give away, not like trade, I would give away Jaylen Brown still. I would give away.
Trade him while you can.
I would just give him away. Like, you would have to give me the worst prospect in baseball for Jaylen Brown, and I'll say yes. Like, legitimately. I am so sick of him. I am so sick of Caleb Durbin. I am so sick of Yoshida.
I'm going to tell you this now. You're not going to get rid of Durbin. I'm sorry.
Nobody's going to want to take on.
He's going to be here for a while. I'm sorry. He's going to be here for
Let me dream, bro. Let me dream, okay? Let me believe. Let me hope.
No, I can't let you dream. I can't let you dream on getting rid of Caleb Durbin because.
But the issue is you're going to trade all these guys for prospects, and you're not going to be able to develop the prospects. So who the hell really cares? And they're going towards a lockout, so we might not even have baseball in that. It's just a bad time to be a Red Sox fan, and I don't. That is all we're doing in the Sox. I refuse to do more Red Sox talk until they give me something that's worth talking about, and they are not worth talking about. They are not worth your time. Watch literally anything else. Love Island's on 5 nights a week. The World Cup is electric right now. Spend time with your family. I don't know what to don't spend your time watching the Boston Red Sox. They are not worth it right now whatsoever. But back to the Celtics. I just think that is the straw that's broken the camel's back at this point. I think at this point, if the trade falls through, I don't see how you can have Jaylen Brown here. Again, after his words, favorite season of his career, and he is involved heavily in trade rumors for Giannis, a guy who he doesn't like either, by the way. So that's also you add to it. So I can see what you say, like, oh, he's used to it by now. It's just the business of the NBA. He's adjusted. I think he's a guy who takes things very personally. I think he uses it as motivation, and maybe he can come back and use it as motivation to be, the best sidekick he can to Jason Tatum.
I think that's exactly what he would do, because literally look at this season. For people who look back and say that is like his favorite season is a bad thing, it's not. His entire career has just simply been in trade rumors, being not that great of a player, and then he comes out and proves everyone wrong. Nowhere did he say, oh, I'm the number one. I'm the guy on this team. He never said anything bad about Jason Tatum and himself. He just talked about how he wanted to shut everyone up on ESPN, across other podcasts, and all the people that were just constantly talking that Jaylen Brown could not do it this season with Jason Tatum out. And that is exactly what he did. He proved everyone wrong. That's why it's his favorite season. Not because Jason Tatum was out, because he shut the hell up of all of you. All of you are now silent.
Well, I don't think people are silent. He's heavily involved in literally the biggest trade sweepstakes of the season.
I mean, yes.
So the other day, he still has an insane amount of, he definitely showed up that he can be a number one option, but I wouldn't say he silenced all the doubters. The doubters came out in full, like, he
I
blew
don't
a
think
3-1
putting him-
lead in the
I don't
NBA
think
playoffs
putting
in the
him-
76ers.
I don't think putting him in a trade is like doubting on him. I
It
think
absolutely is. It is saying we are not good enough to win with you on our team.
they literally did though in 2024.
Yeah, but they all, and don't get, love that team. They had one of the greatest rosters. Like, that roster was stacked up and down. Drew Holiday, Porzingis, Derek White was playing good. Tatum was playing good. Porzingis didn't even play in the finals. He didn't even play in half the playoff games. So yeah, it's saying that, like, with you as a player right now, we are better off trading you else. We are better on upgrading you.
This goes back to my original point. You lost not because of Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown carried you this entire season. Jaylen Brown finished in one of the top MVP races this year. Jaylen Brown didn't fumble Game 7. The rest of the team did, including the coach. That wasn't Jaylen Brown's fault. None of it.
No,
was.
I'm not blaming.
So I don't think putting him in
Game 7
trade
on
is
Jaylen
like.
Brown.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm thinking like. I don't think putting him in a trade right now is saying you're not good enough. You can't say that. You can't put him in trade and be like, we're trading you because you're not good enough. No, you're trading him just to get some kind of different play style, in my opinion. You're not trading
him to improve on him. Like that. That is why you trade players. You trade players for two reasons. You trade them for the fit and like the system you want to run, and you trade them to upgrade. And in this case, I think it's both. I think Brad Stevens is kind of sick of the three balls. I think you heard him talking about it in his post-game press conference.
I don't think the three ball would change that much.
No, I think if you bring in Giannis, I think that forces them to play more of an interior game. I think you will see a decrease in 3 point. Don't get me twisted. I think Joe Mazzulla still wants to huck him, but I think he'll huck him less.
You'll see a decrease of like 3 per game, I feel like, because the Bucks had 39.1% or 39 attempts of 3 this year, and the Celtics were only like 42, not that much ahead. And Giannis, if you watch Bucks games, Giannis just drives in and then kicks out. You don't think
but
they're
you
going
won't
to
have
that in
that.
2 seconds?
The ball's at least going to touch the paint with Giannis. And it might still end up in a 3-point shot, but it's going to be a driving kick, which I'm okay with. Like, driving kick to Derek White in the corner, that's what Derek White's supposed to be good at. And if he can't hit it, get his ass out of town. Driving kick, if Sam Hauser's still here, which I don't think he'll still be here.
You said that last season.
I thought he was like, I
said
think
that
Sherman's going to take over his role. I've said it for 2 seasons now. Like, I don't think Sam Hauser's here. Like, you drive kick to Shireman in the corner. Jordan Walsh can hit the corner 3. Like, hell, Luka Garza could hit that shot as well. Like, you don't know. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm sick and tired of the, high screen and the ball not, or 24-second offense where the ball doesn't touch the paint. Like, they drive into the mid-range, they dribble back around, they kick it out. Like,
but then,
I think bringing in Giannis forces paint touches every single possession.
Is that Jaylen Brown's fault or is that Mazzulla's fault? That's Mazzulla's fault, not Brown's.
That is Mazzulla's fault, but bringing in Giannis forces Mazzulla to change. Like, this is saying, okay, you know what, Mazzulla? We won an NBA championship hucking threes. We've been disappointed the last 2 years where we've blown massive playoff leads in the last 2 years and ultimately lost 2 series. We probably shouldn't have lost that New York Knicks series, and we absolutely shouldn't have lost the 76ers series. And then look at the NBA Finals with the Spurs. What were they doing in crunch time? They were hucking threes, and what were the Knicks doing? Jaylen Brown was getting downhill and attacking the basket and hitting crazy floaters and layups.
Then I don't think you need to make a move to make Brad do that. I think you just need to sit down with Joe. I think you just need to sit down with Joe and be like, hey, you're on the hot seat now. Like, you need to change the play style of the team considering you have 2 guys who can attack the basket. You need to tell them and have a play style coming into this season where you attack the basket more, and it's not just the 2 of these guys taking sidestep, high pick and rolls, contested threes the whole time. I think you don't need to force it.
But isn't Giannis down low late game better than Jaylen Brown? Wouldn't you prefer? What more scares you more? Giannis driving downhill late game to hit a basket you need, or Jaylen Brown going downhill to grab a basket you need? It's Giannis every day of the week.
It's Giannis
every day of the week. Every situation I've brought up where I compare them, you're taking Giannis, but you just refuse to admit that he's the right guy.
Because I don't think it's that high of an upgrade. That's the thing. Yes, Giannis is better. I don't think it's like this drastic upgrade where you're trading like an absolute bum player for this like star. Jaylen Brown is absolutely a star. Again, I do not have enough evidence to move off of Jaylen Brown. Is Giannis a better player? Yes. So I will accept the fact that if we do trade Jaylen Brown for him, he is a better player. And I will respect Giannis and expect him to play better. And I will expect the Celtics to be better. But again, I do not have evidence to be like, we need to get rid of Jaylen Brown. We need to move off of him. I don't have that. There's nothing you can tell me to say we need to move off of Jaylen Brown.
Well, it's not like we have to get this guy off the roster.
That's what it sounds like because every season he's in trade rumors.
We want to bring Giannis in But to bring Giannis in, we have to lose Jaylen Brown, and that is.
Why do we have to lose Jaylen Brown? Why not lose Tatum?
Come on, bro. Be serious.
Why not?
Be serious.
Why not?
You're not moving Tatum. Like, you're not. Why would you move
Okay,
a
then
top
why would
five?
you-
Why would you move a top 5 player for a top 5 player and keep a top? Let's say Jaylen Brown's a top 10.
That same question with Jaylen Brown with the way he just played this season. Why would you move a top 5 player for a top 5 player?
Jaylen Brown's not even close to a top 5 player.
He just did.
He's not a top 5 player.
He just played like one.
He's not a top 5 player. He's not a top 5 player, Josh.
He just damn well played
He's
one.
not. Josh,
he just proved everyone wrong.
Okay.
He
okay.
could.
Let's run this
absolutely
experiment.
can.
Let's run this thought experiment, Josh. Yes or no? Is he better than Jokic?
No.
Yes or no? Is he better than SGA?
No.
Yes or no? Is he better than Wemby?
No.
Yes or no? Is he better than Giannis? I've already said in the episode he's not better than Giannis.
Well, okay, am I asking, like, are we going off of this season?
Just as of today, right now, do you think Jaylen Brown is a better basketball?
Because Giannis didn't even play this season.
Okay,
He barely played. So yes, I will say he's better than Giannis.
Is he better than Jason Tatum?
I can't say a guy is better than another guy when one of them literally didn't play. So yeah, I'll say Jaylen Brown's better than Tatum right now.
Fine. Is he better than Anthony Edwards?
Yes.
I don't think so. Is he better than Jalen Brunson?
Yes.
No. Is he better than Cade Cunningham?
Yes.
No, he's not. Where the hell is my top
Why?
answer?
Like,
He's not better than
why are these
Cade
guys?
Cunningham literally finished higher than him in the MVP voting.
What was that? Sorry.
Cade Cunningham finished higher than him in the MVP voting.
Okay.
So if you're going by your logic that he was an MVP top 5, whatever the hell he was, well, he didn't beat Jalen Brown.
Okay, but Cade Cunningham also blew it in the playoffs. He didn't play well in the playoffs.
He got further than Jalen Brown in the playoffs. Is okay. So he's better. You have Jokic, SGA, Wemby. Is he better than Luka Doncic?
Yes, I think Luka's heavily
he's not.
overrated. Yeah, he
No,
is.
he's not. No, he's not. I would take SGA, Jokic, Wemby, Giannis, Tatum, Brunson, Luka, Cade Cunningham over. That's 8 guys right there. I'd take over. I mean, would you take? Is he better than Donovan Mitchell? I think he's better than Donovan Mitchell.
Yes.
Yeah. Was he better than Kawhi Leonard?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Kawhi plays enough, but he's a fringe top 10 guy. Like he's 10 or 11. Like it depends how high you rate Steph Curry.
Curry's such a wild card. You could have him at 1, or you could have him at 10.
I just think he's not a top 5 player. Like you can think he is.
I think as of right now, with how this season just turned out, I think he is.
He's not. He's not better than Ant Edwards. He's not. And I love him. He's not better than Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson just won an NBA championship. I mean, if you're going to go now, like right now, okay, Jalen Brunson just won an NBA championship, and he dropped 45 in the closing game. And every single time in crunch time, when they needed a bucket, he hit that bucket. Like driving downhill, fading away, hit that. Like, I just don't think.
Okay, here. I'll give you Brunson. I'll take Brunson over him.
That's 5 guys right there.
Who are the 5? So who are the 5?
Jokic, SGA, Wemby, Brunson, who else? And then whoever you want to pick. You want to pick Giannis, you want to pick Tatum, you want to pick Ant, you want to pick Luka. They're all better than Jaylen Brown.
Okay, so what? So he's not top 5. He's like what? Top 8, top 10?
I think he's the 11th, 10th best player in the league right now. Jokic, SGA, Tatum, Giannis, Luka, Wemby, Ant, Brunson, Steph Curry, Cade Cunningham, Jaylen Brown. Like those are your top 11 players in the league.
Okay, so what's the what's the issue with moving off of that?
There's no issue, but you can improve. Why not improve? In my eyes, Tatum's the 3rd best player in the league, and right after that is Giannis. You can have the 3rd and 4th best player in the league on your team.
Wait,
That's an improvement.
so you say he's 3? Who's the 1 and the 2?
I think Jokic is the best player in the league. I think SGA is the 2nd best. I think a fully healthy Tatum is a top 3 player in the league, and I will die on that hill no matter what. And I think Giannis is the 4th best player in the league when fully healthy. And then I think Luka's the 5th.
So where are you putting Wemby?
Wemby's 6.
You think Luka's better than Wemby?
I think at the end of the season, Wemby will be the best player. End of next season, Wemby will be the best player in the world. I wholeheartedly believe that.
You think Luka's better than Wemby? No.
I think as of right now, the way Wemby kind of choked in that final series, put him out inside the top 5.
Okay, no. I hate that excuse. No, you can't just say he's choked in the NBA Finals and say he's not better than these guys. These guys didn't make the NBA Finals.
Like that's what he's supposed. Like that's how the NBA goes. Like you typically lose your first time in the NBA Finals. Like Tatum did it, LeBron did it. Like you typically lose your first time in the NBA Finals. Like that's how it goes. You don't win the NBA until 25.
Why are we demoting him then?
Well, I just think like he still has room to develop.
Okay,
like, I think Wemby. I think he was way too
first finals.
Huh?
Luka lost his first finals. Why do we have Luka below him?
Bro, Luka's averaging like a 30-point triple-double. He is one of the most offensively efficient players the NBA has ever seen. Okay, he's so good offensively, it's tough to argue taking the ball out of his hands.
Luka doesn't do much on defense, and Wemby is able to do everything on the court.
Okay, then if you want to swap Luka and Wemby, Wemby's 5. I still think like Wemby's 5, Luka's 6. Like, and I'm a Wemby guy, so like you can move these guys around. like in any order, and I'm not going to be mad at you. But I just ultimately think Jaylen Brown's not in that top 10. I think he's right on the edge.
So you're saying just because he's not in the top 10, we need to move off?
No, I'm not saying just because of that. Like, that's not why I think we need to move off of Jaylen Brown. I don't think the Jays have run like, if Jaylen Brown and Tatum are back again next year, we don't have Giannis, and they improve the roster, I still think they can win an NBA championship. But right now, what you need to do is you need to look at the New York Knicks and be, okay, how do we beat the Knicks? And I think the best way to beat the Knicks is to bring in a guy like Giannis. I think you bring in Giannis, you stand a much better chance of beating the Knicks. That's who you have to beat. And then you look out west, you got to beat the Thunder or the Spurs or whoever the hell makes it out west.
I don't know. I just don't think it's your priority. I think your priority is the rest of the roster.
Like, that's the bar. Like, you saw it with the Knicks when the Celtics won. They went out and, loaded up. When you are chasing, which the Celtics are currently chasing now because they're not defending the championship, they're chasing. That's how sports works. I know I'm a rocket scientist. I know I'm a genius, dude. Like 8K brain in here, dude. You need to go and, load the clip. You got to go and improve the roster. And I think bringing in Giannis improves the roster. I think moving off of Derek White and Sam Hauser and getting, another defensive point guard at a cheaper contract, I think getting a true big man and a couple extra wings, like that improves the roster enough to where you can say, okay, let's go take down the New York Knicks. Because that's the goal now. You got to beat the Knicks. And how do we beat the Knicks? You got to find somebody, you got to have, you're going to have the best duo in the league right there, and you already have the best duo, but you upgrade that a lot. And I think you go and you show up the interior defense, and you find a guy who can score down low at a very consistent clip. And the pick and roll, low post, can drive downhill, be aggressive into the basket, late game situations. And that's what Giannis is. He is a premier defender of all 5 positions, and he's one of the most efficient guys at getting to the basket. That's what Giannis Antetokounmpo is as a basketball player. And I think we need that more than we need Jaylen Brown.
And you're not wrong. Again, it's an ugly truth for me to accept because I know you're right, and I know that Giannis is better than Brown. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and don't even play that you think Tatum's better. That Tatum's worse than Jaylen Brown. Like, don't even play that game.
When did I say that?
Piss me off. You said it like 2 minutes ago.
I said from this season, dumbass.
Yeah, it's what 25 games. But you don't think Tatum's going to be a top 5 player again next season?
No, he will.
Okay, I rest my.
But I'm not saying Jaylen Brown is like better than Jason Tatum is going to next year. I'm saying if I'm going off of this season, Jaylen Brown is better than Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum didn't play. I'm going off of that. I'm not saying in general. Shut the hell up. I'm not going off in general. I can't say a guy is better than any other guy when he didn't play.
Fair.
I can't say that. That's why I think injuries are so better. People are like, if he's healthy, well, guess what? He's never healthy.
I mean, health isn't like availability is the best ability. It's an important.
People are like, oh, if Derrick Rose was healthy, if Kawhi Leonard was healthy, they're never fucking healthy. All right, so shut the hell up. They're never healthy. The word "if" is a problem with me. That's my problem.
Grandma had wheels should be a bike, buddy.
If your argument has to do with the word "if," then your argument's invalid. You're going off of fantasy at that point. You're going off of fantasy and dreaming.
I will say we're arguing hypotheticals on what they would look like together. Like we are.
Yeah, but we're going off of
we're arguing if Jaylen Brown gets traded for Giannis, how good the Celtics. But
we're talking about like that's ifs in the future. That's ifs in the future. But if you're using the word "if" to like go back to something in the past or look for an excuse for something, that's invalid. Like, yes, we're asking questions if Jaylen Brown gets traded, if Jason Tatum is a top 5 player next year. But we're talking about in the future. I'm talking about if you use the word "if" in an argument to go back to the past about something, it's bullcrap. Your argument's bullcrap.
No, I don't hate that. I don't hate that take at all. Go on what actually happens.
Oh, if this person was healthy, well, guess what? They're not healthy. They're dead.
Fair enough. And
they're on the floor crying.
The reports are all over the place. I'm seeing equal amount of reports in that it's a done. I saw so many reports saying it's a done deal. They just got to push it over the finish line. They're, dotting the I's, crossing the T's. And I've seen some people say that they're not even taking phone calls on Jaylen Brown. So I don't know what to believe. I lean more towards that they're in on Giannis. I really do believe that. I think he's exactly what the Celtics are looking for.
I think they're in on Giannis, but if I had to lean yes or no, I don't think it will happen just because we hear Brown is in every single trade rumor every single season, and I will yet to believe it until I see it.
Well, it's a very like boy who cries wolf. Like, okay,
exactly.
And this situation with Jaylen Brown, how many times?
How many times have we been through this with Jaylen Brown? I will not
9 years. You've probably been through this 7 times.
The only person, there's one man in this world who can change my opinion if I believe Jaylen Brown will get traded this offseason. That man is Shams Charania when I see him tweet it out.
Yeah, I think he's going to move, and I think it would suck if he goes to Miami. Like, I would like to keep him out of the Eastern Conference. Like,
You talking about
not a
Brown
guy
or
just I would prefer
Gian?
not
You
to
talking
play.
about Brown or Giannis?
Giannis, Giannis.
I don't think he'll go to. I don't think Miami has the pieces to trade
Well,
for
let's
him.
think
That's the
about
only
it.
issue.
First of all, the third team would have to put a lot more in, but the Celtics just have the best offer. Like they can offer the best thing for Giannis. They
Yeah,
can
that's
offer
why I
Jaylen
think
Brown.
it's a bigger. I think it's a bigger. I think it would be more realistic if he gets trades in Boston than Miami. I don't think Miami has the trade assets for
Yeah,
Giannis.
but I also don't think it would be like, okay, you take Giannis, we take Jaylen Brown. I think it'll be again, like I
No,
said
I think
earlier,
it would
if
have
they get
to.
the guy from the third team.
Yeah, I also think a third team would have to be involved, not because either team doesn't have what it takes to trade for the other player. I think the Bucks don't want Jaylen Brown. I don't think if Jaylen
No,
Brown
I
gets
think they're
traded
hitting
for
full rebuild.
Giannis,
They're
yeah,
hitting
that's the
full
thing.
rebuild.
If you're gonna trade, if the trade is Giannis for Brown, you don't want Brown if your team is gonna go into a rebuild. Why would you take Jaylen Brown if you're just gonna go
Because then you're
straight?
going to
If you're
be an
saying you're
eight
gonna go
seed,
straight,
and you really want to be
exactly.
the worst team in the league.
Yeah, so a third team would
Or
have
you
to be
want to be the
involved.
fourth worst team in the league with the new lottery rules, or whatever the hell they are.
Yeah, a third team would have to be involved to take Jaylen Brown while you just take the young players and the draft picks from it, and you just ship Giannis out of here. Yeah, it can't simply just be Bucks and Celtics in this trade. There has to be a third team.
Who do you think? What team do you think is most likely to be the third team? Because I've read a lot. I've been whispered a few things here and there. Brag.
Who's
I'm,
whispering in your ear?
I never cite my sources. I never give away my
Do I know
sources.
the source?
No. Maybe. Yes. I'm hearing Portland. I'm hearing Clippers. I'm
I'm
hearing
hearing
Hawks.
I'm hearing
Well, I mean,
Clippers.
I'm hearing Portland. I'm reading Hawks. I'm hearing Clippers. I'm reading Pacers potentially as well because they have that number five.
Pacers.
No,
Oh,
Clippers because they have that
no,
fifth
yeah,
pick.
the
Clippers, I
Clippers have
meant. I
their
was thinking
pick.
because the Pacers got screwed with the pick.
I was gonna say, where are you
Like
hearing
those are the teams that
Pacers?
would be. I think if there's going to be a third team involved, it's going to be one of those three teams: Hawks, Clippers, or Trailblazers.
I could see it being the Clippers.
See, I think it's going to be the Hawks because that's also, I believe, Jaylen Brown's from Atlanta.
Yes.
So he'll go play for his hometown team, and then they move Kaminga or like, and then they
The
have.
Hawks also do have a good amount of first round picks as well. Like they have a couple of other teams first round picks for the next like 3 years. I want to say I think they have two.
Well, you move
I
like
think
Kaminga and
I think they have two
picks, and
coming
then you
up.
can go like Brown, Dyson Daniels, and then Zachary, whatever the other dude's last name is. Like that's your new big three.
Jesus.
Don't even make me try that. But like again, it's maybe he goes out in LA and now he's the Clippers star and they move
I could
Darius Garland.
I could see it being the Clippers just so that the Bucks can like immediately start the rebuild with a number 5 overall pick right now, which is also why I think if Giannis does get traded, it's going to be before it has to be before the draft.
Yeah,
Because
I
I
think
don't
so too.
think I think the Bucks will want to get a first round pick of this year from someone.
It's a loaded draft class.
Yeah, I think they're going to want a top first round pick from this year. So I think why would you wait to trade Giannis? You have to trade Giannis now so you can start your rebuild as soon as possible. Because if you trade him after the draft, then you just go through a year of just sucking ass and you're just having a bunch of role players play together. Whereas you trade for a pick right now, okay, now you have a project player. Now you can go off of someone.
Yeah, and like this draft, like at the
It
fifth
has to be
overall
before the
pick,
draft.
like you hope that maybe one of what's Darren Peterson, Andrew DeBonsa, Cam Boozer, Caleb Wilson kind of slips. I don't think that'll happen. But even then, you get like Keaton Wagler from Illinois. You have the option to pick Darius Acuff. Like you get a chance to pick like a top freaking. You get to pick a chance to pick like a top point guard
They
in this
could
draft.
get. I'm
Or like
looking at it right
okay,
now.
even Atlanta. Atlanta has the eighth overall pick.
Yep.
You could go and get Kingston Flemings, who I'm a big fan of, or Braden Burris from Arizona, the shooting guard. Like that. Like you have options in this draft.
Yeah, and like Miami has the 13th overall pick. So like if
Not
you're
too far down
if
the
you're
ladder.
if you're Milwaukee on the phone and you have Hawks or Heat, you're gonna go with the Hawks offer just because that higher draft pick. If the Clippers are on the line, honestly, if I'm the Bucks, I'm not waiting for the Clippers to hit me up. I'm hitting up the Clippers. I'm sliding into their DMs to get number 5.
Yeah, and it's just if you're the Heat trying to get Giannis, you have to give up like Tyler Hero, James Hawkes Jr., and a bunch of picks. And then who the hell
Yeah,
do you have left? Bam Adebayo.
exactly. So like, okay, if Giannis wants to win, why does he want to go to Miami if like okay they trade for Giannis? Okay, then what is the team going to be? A top 5 player and a all-star center? Okay,
Yeah, it just
And
doesn't. Unless he just wants to go enjoy the beach in Miami, like that's very possible. Maybe he doesn't really care. He's just gonna put up his stats, make his money.
like
Like I
he's
don't
literally
think
just
that's Giannis. I think he wants to win still.
wants, yeah, I think
I
he
think he's
also
just
wants to,
fed up in
because
Milwaukee.
I think that's the reason why he originally wanted to leave Milwaukee in the first place, wasn't it? When like
He
Giannis
wants
trades
to
first
win.
started a couple years ago, is that because the Bucks were not making moves to improve the roster? They weren't making
Yeah,
moves to
but
improve the
he want.
roster, and so
That's
they
why
were
he was
just
like, "Oh, we're
yeah.
not competitive enough. I don't want to be
Yeah,
here
so then
anymore."
why does he want to go to the Heat then?
Yeah, I don't
Because
know. The Heat are just the store.
he stated he wants to go to the Heat.
The Heat are just always in on everything. Like they're in on Damian Lillard. Like you name it, any big trade, like their
Well,
Heat are in
they
there.
literally did, okay. Dame wanted to go Miami. Miami wanted Damian Lillard.
Portland said
Miami
no.
Miami just didn't want to do it. Or no,
No,
I'm sorry.
Portland said no.
Portland didn't want to send
I
him.
love, I love that. I love when
That
they're
was
petty.
funny. Well, that's such a petty move. Hey, you want to go here? Too bad. You're going to Milwaukee. But like, if we're comparing teams, it literally just feels like Giannis is being traded from the Bucks to the Bucks with more sun and water.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's literally how it is.
But it'll be interesting to see what happens.
He's doing a 180. Just the beach is, he has a better view of the beach now.
Yeah,
He's doing a 180.
feel like he's literally just moving south. He's not improving his
Yeah.
championship odds. But only time will tell. Every single report that comes out, I'm going to be reading at. I'm going to be waiting. Like Shams, note he's on. Wait and see what Shams says. Waiting for that Shams bomb. It doesn't sound the same as a Woj bomb, but only time will
Really,
tell.
kind of like the Sham bomb.
Nah, I
I know
thought a Woj bomb.
I know it's Shams. Woj bomb.
Woj
I
bomb
like
was special.
Woj bomb was special.
But we'll have to wait and see. Is Brown going to be a Celtic? Is Giannis going to be a Celtic? Is Brown going to be out of here? Have the Jays played their last game together? I think it'd be really sad if Game 6 in that Philly series was the last time the Jays ever played together. Like, that would hurt me. But it is what it is. That's how pro sports works. You can't always get what you want. And at the end of the day, Jaylen Brown wants to be a number one option. I think he'd be happy leaving the Boston Celtics in some sense. But only time will tell. And before we get out of here, there is just one thing I want to talk to Josh about because I want to get his experience because the World Cup craze in Boston is real. People love, like, the Europeans love Boston, and the Boston, like, has loved the vibe the European soccer fans have brought to the city of Boston, like, specifically those crazy Scottish fans who just drink in the bars dry. Josh, you went to Saturday's World Cup game. It was who the hell played?
Scotland versus Haiti.
Thank you. Now,
Which-
admittedly, I'm not watching a ton of the World Cup. Like, admittedly,
Oh,
I
you
watched
have
the
to.
Messy game and I watched the Mbappe game.
You
I
have
haven't
to. It's
watched
so
much of
fun.
anything else.
Oh my God, the Brazil game against Morocco, great game. I first of all, I wish we could play copyrighted music right now because my God, would I be playing? I have been listening to Yes Sir I Can Boogie so many times. You know what that song is? Like
No.
what? So it's the song they play when they win a game.
All right.
And so when they won the game, me and my friend Joe, who brought me to the game, shout out Joe, we're just literally I am dancing on the way back to the train. Like, because that's all we're singing. We're just singing Yes Sir I Can Boogie. I have 2 points though I would like to make. First of all, greatest sporting event I've ever been to in my life.
Okay.
I've been to a Patriots game, a Celtics game, a Red Sox game, and a Bruins game. None of those compared to a Scotland versus Haiti World Cup game. Second of all, I very hardly believe, and I'm sorry to the United States of America that I live in. Quite frankly, I think we are extremely pathetic when it comes to cheering on forever sports. Holy shit. We are lame as hell compared to the Scots. Even the Haitians. So a lot of people think that this in Boston Stadium or this whole event, it was mainly going to be Scottish people. Tom, I would say there was a good 65 to 35% of Scottish people to Haitians. There was a good Haitian population at Boston Stadium, Gillette Stadium. Screw it, I'm not saying it. But no, I think I'm sorry, America. I think we're pathetic when it comes to our sports. Throughout the entire game, it was not silent. It wasn't just like, okay, we're going to watch the game and then cheer when they score. It was just constant, just chants, different cheers, loudness, screaming, everything. That was the loudest I have ever heard Gillette Stadium. And the fact that it wasn't like Gillette Stadium was expanded to fit more people. It was a sold-out stadium, 64,000 people. And so why can't we do this at a at a Patriots game. I'm sorry. Again, I'm gonna say it, we are so lame, and that the fact that the Scots are literally doing this during Red Sox games too. They're doing their team's chants during an American baseball Boston sport. That's how lame we are. Is that they are just constantly rooting for their team, even when they're not playing. On the field, off the field, in a random bar, at a Red Sox game, it doesn't matter. They're constantly cheering their team on. And they were the nicest people. They were the best people ever. Literally, when Scotland scored, obviously we're all jumping up. The second Scotland scored their one and only goal, the guy left to me, I couldn't tell you his name. He just grabbed me and brought me in for the biggest bear hug I have ever gone to my life, and I'm screaming my head off because of how excited I was. I was so excited for Scotland versus Haiti, and it absolutely lived up to the hype. So I'm sorry, America. I'm going to look in the camera right when I say this. We're all pathetic when it comes to our sports. I'm sorry. We're so pathetic.
And again, didn't go to a game, not going to a game. And I'll take it from your experience.
I highly recommend it.
Like, soccer fans are crazy. The European soccer fans, and then you add in the fact that it's the World Cup, so they're all playing for their country. They are insane in the best way possible. And I just think that the vibe they've brought to the city, like the atmosphere, is the perfect time for it because the Celtics are out of the playoffs. We're waiting for the Patriots season to kick off. The Bruins are out of the playoffs. Their season's over. And all we have are the Red Sox. And the Red Sox, like, they made Fenway an experience. Like, even too bad the Red Sox stink and they have to, like, watch those games. But they made
if the Red Sox,
like, joy to the city.
Even if the Red Sox are good, I completely think the World Cup would still take over.
Yeah, but it's brought something to the city that, like, a vibe and, like, a joy and, like, an energy that wouldn't be here without them. So, like, they've completely brought that vibe. And again, I don't live in the city, but just seeing everything you see on social media and things like that, like, there is a vibe and an energy and a buzz in the city of Boston that wouldn't be there right now without the Tartan Army or the Norwegians or whoever the hell else is here.
I think, why can't we have this type of vibe and energy during our games? And I understand it's a whole country sport, like it's country versus country, but why? But why stop there? Why can't we do it for our professional sports as well? Again, there were 64,000 people in Gillette Stadium. That is the exact same amount that will probably be there at a Patriots game. But we don't have special chants for the Patriots. We have defense. Defense. You want to know who else has that chant? Every other team across every other sport has that chant. You're not special with that. It's lame as shit. And I think, quite frankly, we need to start promoting to actually have certain chants and certain traditions across all professional sports. We have Bills Mafia, who jump through tables for every single tailgate. That's a start. The Vikings do Skull. That's a start. Why can't we do it for our sports as well? What the hell does Boston do? What did Boston do?
I mean, that's a great question. Like, I don't know. We have we have shipping up to Boston living on a prayer. We have Sweet Caroline.
We have Sweet Caroline. But we're not even getting that because the Red Sox suck so badly. So, okay, we have Sweet Caroline. That's a start. Why don't we have all three other teams have a winning song?
Well, the Bruins play something by Audio Slave in the playoffs. I can't think of the name right now.
No, you're right. They do. But it's like, okay, let's start there. Let's get a winning song for every team. And then let's have like some kind of special chant.
Okay, the Red Sox play Dirty Water and the Celtics play Gino. Like, they have that winning song. Celtics come out.
Let's go beyond that. What
are the Patriots come out to? Crazy Train at Gillette?
Crazy Train. Yeah.
And like they sing Your Love, like Josie's on a vacation far away. Like we have that. It's just, I think it's more like the chanting and stuff. I will give you that. But like when it comes to the songs, like we have our songs. Like we have our Boston sports songs.
Okay, true. But like what about even before the game? The pregame and like the tailgating for Scotland was insane. And even before that, when the Scots arrived, and even before their next game coming up against Morocco, I believe, they're still out here celebrating, drinking away. Why don't we do that for...
Okay, so don't get it twisted. I love the vibe. If Boston sports fans could adopt anything from like the Tartan Army and the Scottish fans, like their love for the team and just overall joy and happiness, even when they're losing and not playing well. Like, if they could adopt that and just always bring that vibe to the stadium and the games would be awesome. But you also got to think, all of these European fans They're on vacation now. They're on a holiday. So they don't have to go to work tomorrow. They can go out and get blasted every single night at the bar and then wake up hungover and do it again the next day. Typically, football's on a Sunday. People have to work on Mondays. Can't do that.
You go to
Thursday night football,
okay, but
you gotta go to work Friday. Celtics games, Monday through Friday. You gotta go to work the next day. Like, they're also on a holiday right now. So, like,
but
that's why they're also, like, I don't get twisted. I think they're this crazy to begin with, but they're also on a holiday. So they can in a foreign country to go and be crazy every single
I
day.
understand. I understand where you're trying to get at, but you go to work 320 days, 300 days a year, and it's like, okay, if you're gonna go to a game once, you're
Oh,
really
you
gonna
should
be
be
like,
rowdy at the stadium. Don't get it twisted. You
exactly.
should be
Like I
loud
don't
and chanting. But the 24/7 vibe that they have brought to the city, they're not going to work. Like, they're on holiday. Like, they're on
it's
their
true.
vacation. Like,
It's true.
nobody in New England's taking 2 weeks off to go watch three Patriots games. Like, it's
No,
just
but
not
it's like,
happening.
okay, why can't for just the day? Just for the day, it's as crazy as
Yeah,
it was.
the
Because
day
it
they could,
wasn't.
but no, the day they can. It depends. Like, obviously, Sunday you have to go to work on Monday. Like, that's part of the thing, Josh.
Well,
Like,
you
you
know
can't
what?
deny
How
that.
about you? Okay, then if you call yourself, no, I'm not talking to you directly. I'm talking to the fans. If you call yourself a diehard fan, fuck work. Get
Okay.
hammered and have some fun.
Yeah, and then, like, obviously, people work
Like,
hungover all the time. I'm sure people
I
work
have
drunk all
to,
the time. I'm sure, but it's also like, hey,
I have to get up in the morning. I have to file so many
but no,
emails.
it's not the spectacle that it is when it's in your backyard. You go to Foxborough to watch the Patriots, and you're driving 30 minutes down Route One. Like, it's not the spectacle of I'm hopping
I'm
on a
not
plane
saying
going
you
to
have
a
to
foreign
get.
country.
I'm not saying you have to get hammered and
No, but they
drunk, but
should
like
be.
to
Like,
have
I'm hoping that they do bring their vibe up.
exactly like the vibe and the energy and the atmosphere should be way more electric. Like the Scottish people brought. Oh, there's so many bagpipes. I'm not saying we have to bring bagpipes, but why don't we bring some cool shit into the stadium? Like they were playing bagpipes just during the game. It wasn't like during a special moment, like before, like during the lineups or like after the game or when they scored a goal. This one guy, about like 8 rows in front of me, was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna whip out my bagpipes right now. Just gonna whip the pipe out.
Whoa!
Yeah. He was like, let me just whip them out and just start
You looked
playing
at
them.
his pipes.
I did look at his pipes. Yeah, he had there was 4 pipes, 5 pipes.
He might want to get that checked out.
Yeah.
No, no, it's been great. It's been great to watch. The vibe
They
has
were
been
different. They were
immaculate.
different. They were different sizes too.
And hopefully, like, if anything changed, like, the vibe can keep somewhat of the vibe when they all leave, and
I don't
maybe
think
we
I'll ever.
appreciate our sports teams more when they come
We
back around.
should.
Probably not, because the
I
Red
don't
like the Red
think.
Sox are currently playing, and we still won't have that vibe there ever.
Yeah. When does the NFL season start?
It's less than 100 days away.
That's too long.
Mhm.
Like I genuinely don't think I'll be able to go to another sporting event the same after Scotland versus Haiti. Like I have genuinely had a new perspective on sports.
No,
We
that's
are
great.
pathetic.
That's
We are
great.
so lame and pathetic.
Yeah, and that's spectacular. Like, they are changing the way we look at things, and that's like they're bringing their call. Maybe I'm not saying we're going to take all the Scottish chants and bring it to the Patriots, but we take something of their culture and their love for their sports teams. Like, we adopt that
Literally,
a little bit. It's
they
incredible.
they mean it when they say no Scotland, no party. That is literally true. It is awesome. Um, I'm trying to think. Oh, you're gonna think this is funny and stupid. I gave a Scottish guy a ranch at the bar.
Like, you try it. Seeing them on social media trying things, like in
Oh my
America,
god.
awesome.
Have you so I'll go back to my ranch story in a second. Have you seen the Japanese with the like the Texas
They
the
love
Texas
barbecue.
barbecue?
Yes,
They're
they
like,
love it.
oh my god, they're like in love with it. It's awesome
It's
because
like, your
they've
portion
never
sizes
had
are
it.
insane, but why do you tip so much? And I'm like, oh my god, like, seeing them
Oh,
experience American culture is awesome.
yeah, like seeing the Japanese just devour Texas barbecue and like Texas brisket is insane.
Yeah, like, the videos
Um,
are awesome.
I can also confirm there was an 18% gratuity automatically charged
Mhm.
for majority of restaurants. I went to Bar Louie in Gillette or Patriots Place. They had an $18% upcharge on your bill.
Yeah, like, and tipping culture isn't what it is,
Nope,
across the pond. So these servers should not be getting screwed at all. They're working extremely hard. Like,
nope.
doesn't bother
I
me at
can't
all.
confirm I did not tip with it. Can't confirm. I don't know if that was a douche move or not, but I can
You cheap
confirm.
bastard.
I'm already tipping you. They're already getting 18%. Hey, I usually tip 20%, but hey, they won at 18, so I'm like, more money for me. I'm saving more, I guess.
It is what it is.
Um,
It's been great though. It's been really a cool experience, and I'm glad. I know I didn't get to go, but from what you're telling me, living
I loved it.
vicariously through you, it seemed like a really
Loved it.
the videos you were showing me, it looked like a really cool experience.
Real quick, the ranch story. So we ended up, me and my buddy Joe, we ended up being locals for a couple of Scots that we met.
Yeah.
They're also from Perth, by the way. These guys we were hanging out with, they were from Perth, Australia. And we're sitting at the bar. Guy gets wings. I get some wings. And I was given blue cheese and ranch. And so I know I'm dipping the wing. I take a bite. It's awesome. Great. What else more can you ask for? And the guy asked me, and what sauce are you eating? I'm like, oh, it's blue cheese and ranch. And he's like, I know what blue cheese is, but what's ranch? Apparently ranch is not a thing in Scotland. So I'm like, it's ranch. You want to try some? So he does it. He takes the wing. He dips it. He takes a bite. What does he say to me? I understand why America is so fat now. He
So did he
loved it.
double dip in your ranch?
No, he had his own ranch.
Okay.
Yeah, because he also had wings, and so he asked me, he was like, what's this sauce that you also have? I was like, it's ranch. And so he had his own ranch, and he loved it.
I'm glad you
Um,
can introduce somebody to ranch.
I was just like, I didn't know ranch was not a thing up in Scotland. Apparently the guy's heard of blue cheese, and so he was like, I've had blue cheese. I'm like, it's all right. And I was like, oh, here, try the ranch then. He's like, this is amazing. I understand why America is so fat now. Granted,
Well, he's lazy.
this guy was also huge. I wouldn't call him skinny, but dude had ranch for the first time, and it looked like he was like a kid trying ice cream.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
like this
that's
is
just it's just cool.
two takeaways from the Europeans and Asians coming to America is that the Japanese now love Texas barbecue, and the Scots love ranch.
And that's what we're gonna end it today. Episode 53 of the Duck Boat Dispatch. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at the Duck Boat Dispatch. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Duck Boat Dispatch. You can follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Finding the Spotify one is a pain in the rear end. So Sarah, who's not here today, has set up a lovely link tree on the Instagram. You click on that, you can find all of your Duck Boat Dispatch social medias, YouTube, Twitter. We don't have a Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, whatever it may be. So be a friend, tell a friend, share it with a friend. Sharing is caring. It means a lot. So make sure you like, comment, repost. We're going to be back next week, episode 54. Maybe Giannis is a Boston Celtic. Who knows by then? Maybe Gonzo is paid. I know we didn't touch on that. The one thing I think we can be certain on, the Red Sox will still be multiple games under 500. I believe they're currently 13 games under 500. And they can't win at Fenway Park. They've won 12 games at Fenway Park.
Second worst record in the league.
Possibly, most likely going to lose 100 games this season. It is a remarkable turnaround for the
Let's
worst for the
go.
Boston Red Sox. But we'll be there to cover it. Sarah will be back next week. Maybe we'll get her fired up about some sort of Patriots thing. That's always fun to do as well. It's not the same without her. So make sure you come back for all your Duck Boat Dispatch content. Thank you for watching.